This video is part 2 of reevaluating all of my Good Omens theories to see if they hold up in light of the change for Season 3 from 6 full episodes to a single 90-minute movie. And also, after conversations with other fans, have I potentially changed my mind? In that first video, I addressed my oldest theories, and you can check that out here, but today I'm going to address my more recent theories. So let's see which ones hold up, which ones need some updating, and which ones we're gonna chuck in the trash. More than Just Maggie. I really enjoyed this deep dive because most theories do tend to revolve around Crowley and Aziraphale, and it was honestly quite refreshing to take a hard look at another character. And Maggie is quite interesting. This theory came about after hearing the bones of a lot of other theories concerning Maggie, and I'll admit what might have been too many rewatches in a single week. Well, there's no such thing, am I right? Anyway, many theories center around her misspelling of urgency, hinting that she is possibly a demon or even an angel, but there are others. I recall some speculation that she might end up being the mother of Jesus in Season 3, essentially a Virgin Mary figure, or that she was somehow the daughter of Crowley and Aziraphale from a different timeline, or maybe it was a different dimension. Honestly, I'm not being dismissive of other people's theories. I was just trying not to read too many lest they influence my own. And yet, as a part of the fandom, I was bound to see some. So on rewatch 47 or so, who knows, I noticed these little smiley face stickers on the pillar in Maggie's record shop. Going back and looking more carefully, I then spotted them also right here, literally right in frame behind her looking over her shoulder, and it clicked that they looked just like the smiley face stickers from the intro when God is giving us all of that exposition. Specifically, when she says that God does not play dice with the universe. She plays an ineffable game of her own devising.
For everyone else, it's like playing poker in a pitch-dark room for infinite stakes with a dealer who won't tell you the rules and who smiles all the time.
So you see, when those smiley faces pop up on screen, God is talking about herself, the dealer who won't tell us the rules and who smiles all the time. So I thought, God is watching Maggie, or at least watching her record shop. And then I realized that almost everything that happens in Season 2 happens because of Maggie. If you want all of the details of that theory, please do go and check that out here. I think it's one of my more overlooked videos. So in short, I theorized that Maggie, and probably her grandmother as well, weren't just being used by God as a pair of eyes to keep an eye on Crowley and Aziraphale, but as a catalyst, a way for God to give things a little nudge here and there if they started to stray from her ineffable plan, and that she would continue to play that role in Season 3. I like this theory. I do think it holds for Season 2. She was clearly a catalyst for events there. Will she continue to be that in Season 3 or now the finale, though? I'm no longer sure because I don't think there's going to be much room for side plots or character development of side characters, and I'm afraid Maggie's potential importance might be one of the things that is sacrificed for the 90-minute episode. So, although not completely garbage for the finale, I no longer think we will see Maggie as the hand of God or as a catalyst in the finale, if we even see her at all. I do hope we will see Maggie again, but I don't know if she'll be more than just one of the many humans who plays the role of us in the us versus them Armageddon that will unfold. I'm sad to lose this theory, as I think it was quite expertly woven in and foreshadowed in Season 2, but cuts need to be made somewhere. My friend Kamapuri and a few others had been pointing out some potential tarot symbolism, and after having just watched the Season 1 intro a whole bunch, my mind got hooked on this idea next. We spent I don't know how long looking over Season 2 for every potential bit of tarot symbolism, and it's quite massive. I think it's possibly my longest video that I've ever created. If not, it's close. There was so much to find, from very intentional placement like these balls, cups, and wands, to the very frightening symbolism of the sword here, or the skeleton with what appears to be one black wing and one white wing here. I believe we had something like 18 various possible tarot interpretations in that video, so I can't easily say, yep, this video stands the test of time. I do think most of the tarot symbolism is there to reflect Season 2, and of course it did its job, so that still holds up. As far as more predictive tarot theories we had, Judgment Day was shown in the opening sequence of Season 1, and that has still got to be a major part of the finale. Which angel is announcing Judgment Day on the tarot card? It's the Metatron or Raphael. So yeah, I do think this one is still happening. One of the other theories choice that stands out to me today is the one concerning the death card. Now, in tarot, death isn't literal death, but this is a TV show, a story, and stories tend to use tarot more literally. So you know what? I think I need to go back over this theory because watching my own video gave me a lot of new ideas. I'm going to say this cumbersome, detailed, massive, beautiful, massive tarot symbolism that we were gifted in season 2 needs a second look and a fresh video. My next theory, Life After Coffee, came after noticing this sign next to Crowley as he's watching Aziraphale get in the elevator at the end. Looking back, I noted that the same sign is there in episode 1 when Crowley enters the coffee shop for the first time. So it's a constant throughout season 2. Nina's coffee shop is already doing a ton of heavy lifting symbolically, and it occurred to me that there was still more here. Give me coffee or give me death is a reference to give me liberty or give me death, which means coffee is standing in for the word liberty, which means this sign actually reads, life begins after liberty. It also means that Crowley symbolically had 6 shots of liberty in episode 1, and that Aziraphale made what might seem like the wrong choice when he took the coffee from the Metatron, but it's a choice that I think will result in liberty for he and Crowley in the end. I also realized belatedly that the coffee or death sign is reflected in the window here when Jim is drinking cocoa, and we know what he chose. So yeah, coffee is doing so much metaphorical lifting in season 2, and I think its implications for the ultimate outcome for the finale remain the same because I don't think they're going to change how the story ends. So I'm pretty sure this one continues to hold up. Why Crowley Fell. While not going exactly viral, this theory got a lot of attention this summer, getting roughly 100,000 views in about 2 months. So it's clearly a topic of interest for fans. I think people really want to see some of the backstory, perhaps a bit about the Great War and or the fall, the way we got the Little in the Beginning flashback in season 2. Especially since Neil said Crowley isn't the most reliable narrator regarding his fall, that implies that Neil and likely Terry before he passed had ideas about why Crowley fell. I feel like mine was a pretty simple and straightforward theory, honestly. Perhaps it's something I should revisit because although I think my general theory about the sin that was committed is still likely correct, I'm no longer confident that we will have the time to get this backstory. Then again, it might provide some important character motivations for both Crowley and Aziraphale. I would like to mark this one also as needs revisiting, but from a different angle. Next up is the Metatron evil? This theory also has 2 parts. Is he what we would call inherently evil? And on a different note, will he be the main villain of season 3? In short, the answers were no and yes, respectively. I theorized that the Metatron was set up to be the big bad, the active nemesis, an obstacle to overcome in season 3. I think since so much setup was done so effectively in both season 1 and 2, that it would be really inefficient from a storytelling perspective to make up some new character to be the big bad, though it's possible it will be a more nebulous obstacle like discovering true forgiveness or putting aside prejudice or something like that, rather than a traditional antagonist in the finale. After all, he's clearly doing what he thinks is right. So I suppose my best guess is that this is still the direction the finale will take, and I'm really interested if I will be proven wrong, because if done well, I would really enjoy the Metatron not being some Disney villain type big bad, but given more nuance. Again, it's all about time limits. Where is God was the first part in a 2-part series where I had some ideas about how Good Omens pits natural laws against things like free will and love, and examines the potential outcomes of those conflicts. I examined the idea of the uncertainty principle and some other stuff in quantum mechanics that I think I actually showed a fairly poor grasp on. I still think God does not play dice with the universe, and also the ineffable plan versus the great plan, coupled with God's absence in season 2, are important. But I do think I'd like a chance to revisit this theory with a better understanding of the quantum principles involved if I get a chance. Will Love Win is the second part in this series on the conflict of natural laws, and unlike part 1, I totally stand by this theory. This is perhaps my second favorite theory I've currently put out on my channel, with The Hidden Record being the first. Powell and Pressburger films are referenced constantly in season 2, multiple times in each episode, and in the title sequence. They're everywhere. I do think most of these are just fun Easter eggs, and I've had a lot of fun playing where's the Powell and Pressburger reference in each scene. But one movie stands out, and that is Stairway to Heaven, also known as A Matter of Life and Death. Yes, it's one of Michael Sheen's favorite films, and also a favorite of Douglas McKinnon, but the story parallels are just just incredible. Every time I mention this film, I feel obligated to tell people to go and watch it. It's brilliant, and I do think it's relevant. It's hard to sum up this theory. You can check it out here, but I will just say that I do think love will be the ingredient that helps overcome some natural law or other, like how Jim's love overcame Heaven's law to wipe his memory. Perhaps Crowley and Aziraphale's love will help overcome something similar, even overcoming death. As we all know, death cannot stop true love. TMC recently released a clip of Michael Sheen discussing a matter of life and death, and you can find a link to that in the description below. It's only about 6 minutes long, and it's well worth a listen. I have watched some of the other Powell and Pressburger films, though not all of them. So at some point, I may have to make a Powell and Pressburger theory and parallel compilation video, as other fans have asked me to look at some of these other films. I was just looking at dates, and that theory, Will Love Win, came out back at the end of May of 2024. I sort of took it easy in June and just did some news and one of those character ranking videos because behind the scenes, we were working really hard getting ready for the Ineffable Con 5 with 2 big panels, and I was also getting ready for WatCon and for Wat Idol, and I didn't talk about theories again until just recently with Will They Become Human, but there was another theory that I think I mentioned very briefly around this time that I was working on with Joe Madge, and between the convention stuff and everything that happened for the rest of the summer, it just sort of got put on indefinite hold. I was afraid we would never be able to publish it because it's kind of mind-blowing, but we're working on it again, so I'm hoping to be able to show all of you this brand new, never before seen or heard theory pretty soon. I'm hoping. So please stick around for that. I sincerely look forward to a whole new year of theories and analysis and, of course, news on the production. Next week, let's go ahead and finally talk about the body swap theory and the smile. I've put it off for too long, and with filming starting, I'm in the mood for some fun theories. And speaking of fun, if you haven't heard yet, this May we will be hosting the 2nd annual Good Omens Got True Talent competition, and we have many wonderful guests lined up, including Gleefer. If you sing, write music, draw, make candles, crochet, do glasswork, paint, sew, dance, cosplay, makeup artist, really just pick a talent, any talent, you can find a creative way to enter this contest. It's for all skill levels, all talent types, and all ages. You do not have to be a pro. You can be age 9 or 99. All are welcome. Last year, we were stunned by every entry. There's just an overwhelming amount of talent in our fandom, and the live chat and the live voting were so much fun. If you are at all interested or know someone who might be, you can check it out in the link in the description of this video or go to sendariapublic.wixsite.com/go-got-talent. To see all of the rules and find lots and lots of tips and ideas, check it out there. The most basic rules are that your entry needs to be Good Omens themed and that it has to be in video format. So if, for instance, you weave baskets, you can use Crowley and Aziraphale colors, shapes, textures. That would count as Good Omens themed. As for the video, you could film a making of, describing your process. You could display it in a series of still images with various angles and lights and some pretty background music. There are lots of ways you can make your talent work and even make still images or single craft items into engaging presentations. You also don't need any fancy equipment or software. A cell phone is a fantastic tool that almost everyone has access to. The deadline for entries is April 25th, so you have just under 4 months. I will be sharing reminders between now and then. I really hope you find some inspiration and submit an entry, and I can't wait to see what all of you create. I'd really like to thank all of my patrons who make big channel events like this possible and keep our Discord server community running. All of my friends and all of the wonderful volunteers who make that community possible. Please check out our Discord. The link is in the description as well, and I do hope to see you all around the fandom. But really, it's you, dear viewer, who keep coming back to hear me ramble on about Good Omens who make this channel a thing. So, as always, thanks for watching!